There's a lot of things that we want out of our homeschoolers. A lot of things. I'm going to point to two that we focus in on at Grassroots Middle. One is happiness. We want kids to be happy. We want kids to feel as though they can be their authentic selves. And in being their authentic selves, it exudes joy, it exudes happiness, right? The second thing we want out of our scholars at Grassroots Middle is performance. Again, there's a lot of stuff we want, but for this channel, we're just going to focus on those two: happiness and performance. Now, what do you need to create happiness and performance for homeschoolers? Number one, collaboration. Yes, collaboration. We focus in on collaboration. We want kids to feel as though they're part of a team. They're building with the team. They're building with like-minded individuals. And within that, you create a spirit of inclusivity. You create a spirit of working together, bonding, camaraderie, all of that cool stuff. So if you have an outdoor learning school or outdoor learning program, number one, you have to make sure all of the lessons that you all are teaching, all of the insights and information that's being shared, you do it in a collaborated kind of way. So kids are working in group settings. They're working on teams. They're understanding the value of teams. And if you remember, like I remember when we were kids, you want to make sure that there's no one person just doing all the work, right? You want to share and divvy the work up. So as you encourage your scholars to come together in the form of collaboration, you have a true team experience where the work is shared, the presentations are divvied up, and the speaking responsibilities are all cascaded as well. That's number one. Number two, handwork. That's incredibly important. Kids work better when they're using their hands. They can feel it, they can touch it, they can build it, they can take it apart, they can rip it apart. They learn incredibly stronger if they're doing handwork types of activities. So make sure that handwork is rooted into your curriculum as you build your program, particularly as it relates to medium arts, crafting, clay, painting, anything like that is incredibly rich and important for you to have within your homeschool program. Number three, creative play. As you can see in the background, creative play is incredibly rich and important for kids and scholars to express themselves, to learn about the environment, to learn about the information, but not only learn about it, but retain the information through creative play. And creative play can be unstructured, where they're just out and about experiencing nature, as we see behind me, or it can be more structured. It can be hide and go seek, which is a structured game. It can be freeze tag, which is a structured game. It can be building something with the outdoors, whether it's shelter. It could be playing by the lake, as you can see here, skipping rocks, fishing. Any type of play in that way is creative for the child to experience all that nature has to bring. The last thing I love about creative play is exercise and motion. Whenever you're experiencing creative play as a kid that's unstructured or structured, you're moving your body. You're naturally exercising. And we all know the benefits of exercise plus motion, right? So that's another reason why we have to make sure in our outdoor programs, you're leaving space for creative play. Number four, one of my personal favorites when you think about habits that you must incorporate in outdoor learning: music. Love music. Why do I love music so much in outdoor learning? I'm glad you asked. It sets the mood. It sets the vibe. So when we have our scholars doing handwork or art, medium arts, or any type of experiment or something like that, where they're just trying to lock in, just zone out and do work, music sets the vibe. It sets the tenor. It sets the tone. Something like classical music, lo-fi music, jazz, Afro beats. We include all of that within our lessons at Grassroots Middle. And I will tell you, if you try it in outdoor learning, it really sets the motion for your class. Number five, the last one. Now, if you got to this far in the channel, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Number five, when you think about outdoor learning and habits to incorporate in your lessons, substance. What do I mean by substance? You have to have meat within the content that you're creating. So we offer 6 different sessions at Grassroots Middle, and they're always rotating. So every 6 weeks, we come up with a brand new 6 subject courses. Why do we do that? Because we want the information to be fluid. We want it to be vibrant. We want to make sure that the kids are not only retaining the information, but learning the information and having fun with it, as I mentioned earlier. So when I say substance, make sure your information that you're presenting to children have representation and it has enough meat that the kids are learning content and learning the data that you're trying to share with them. So I'll give you an example. We just covered a life science course at Grassroots Middle. We did a whole exercise on Black scientists. And within that time of studying Mae Jemison, we not only looked at her and her background, but we also spent time looking at space, the different planets within space. How does the world operate outside of just the day-to-day? And the kids loved it. They loved it because they saw people who looked like them in space, studying space, and then we had a homework assignment where they had to go back home and that evening look up at the sky and study the different stars. And those are my 5 habits that you want to make sure that you're incorporating into outdoor environmental learning so that your kids can make sure that they're having fun with the content and that they're performing with the content. Until next time, salute.